Hey, I'm John G.
Hey, I'm Craig B. Let's conversate. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
I'll have the.
Yeah, you take this one.
I'll take this one.
So I'll take this one.
I'll go up here and.
Up over the top.
Yeah, I'll kind of bend down low so you
Yeah.
can see.
Get that 3-pointer.
All right, yeah, there we go. Got it right there. What do we got? What do we got? Oh. I think we're gonna like this one if I can get this.
Yeah, the sticky notes maybe next time.
Yeah, I'll yeah, maybe little wads of notebook paper instead
regular
of
water. Or regular water.
regular water, huh? Hey-o!
Yeah, not
What,
that.
what do you got in your cup over there, bud, huh?
Not regular water.
All right, so this one is gonna
regular
be
tea.
music.
Music.
Let's see if we can kind of get that in there. So,
Music killed the radio star.
yeah, right. So I'm gonna toss this in the old trash can over there. So I think I know what my favorite band is. I think I know possibly what one of your favorite bands is.
Mm-hmm. Tool.
Well, that's one of them, yes, but
Metallica.
yeah, that's where I was going because we were fortunate. Man, when was that? That was 2019 when we went and saw them in.
Had to have been like the year before the pandemic hit, because it was one of the biggest.
Yeah, because we went and saw them.
The bigger things that I've done.
You know, we went and saw them in Phoenix, and I feel like that was 2019. Well, oh, hold on.
Maybe 2018.
Oh, no, it was 2019 because it was almost 25 years to the day.
Oh yeah, no, that's
from
right.
when I met my wife.
Yeah.
Because I had seen Metallica in concert where I live now, and literally like the next night I met my soon-to-be wife. I didn't know that at the time, but it just kind of, you know, the way the world the world went.
I didn't get to see them back then.
Oh, they were fantastic. They toured. I think at that they weren't the headliner. Guns N' Roses was a headliner.
Which, can you imagine?
I know, right? It's so
Metallica
crazy.
not being that.
Yeah, they were kind of the mid card, but Faith No More came out. They were 42 sheets to the wind, and they played their song Epic, right, which is great. But they were too busy being drunk and yelling at each other.
Maybe they should have been 30 sheets instead of.
Right, they should have left that other 12 sheets up, you know, rather than getting wrapped up in it. But they and that was when James Hetfield had burned his hand on some pyrotechnics, and they had the guy, the guitarist filling in for Metal Church. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but he was filling in for him. And they came out and just tore the house down. And the full set was just amazing. And we left because we all had contact highs from being in the vicinity of some people who were partaking in some
extracurricular
extracurricular activities. And so we kind of gathered up my friends and we went and ate at I think it was Village Inn. We went and ate at. Came back. And Guns N' Roses was playing their set, and so we just kind of sat outside the stadium and listened to them, and
that's so crazy.
Yeah,
I mean Metallica was the first concert I think I had been to.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first like big live concert.
Oh, and we had amazing seats.
Which kind of baffles me because I've always loved music.
Right.
Like, I've always enjoyed music and all different types of music. Like, I mix it up. I'll be listening to country one week, then I'm back on Octane like the next.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I'll go to like some slower stuff or whatever. But I'm pretty sure Metallica was my first like big live concert. Then my next one after that would have been Dierks Bentley.
Oh, right.
Which he put on an amazing show too.
Where did you see Dierks Bentley at?
Up at Albuquerque and whatever the.
Oh, up at Tingley was it the amphitheater?
The amphitheater. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, I went with Chris and Kristen. We watched Shinedown, and there were some others there.
I think he had talked about. I remember Chris saying that we were supposed to go see Bad Wolves, right?
We had planned that.
We had bought tickets, and then I forget what came up, and we weren't going to be. It wasn't.
Was it Bad Wolves though?
Yeah, it was pre-pandemic. We weren't going to go during the pandemic, but something came up.
I was gonna say, because me, Chris, and Kristen were the only three that went. But I don't remember Bad Wolves being at that concert.
Maybe it wasn't Bad Wolves. Maybe that was part of the conversation.
I was gonna say, I think that was another one that we were trying to plan. I think that was for the next year, and then the pandemic happened.
Oh, okay.
Because the one we went to had, I think it was Shinedown. Oh man, I'm like completely drawing a blank.
CRS. There's that CRS again.
No, 3 Days Grace was there.
Man. That's right. I was that part of.
Golly, Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
And there's maybe one more bigger one, and then there was, I think, Hailstorm or somebody was there. One or two of the female rock artists were there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of that tour, but there's like 4 or 5 bands.
Yeah, it was really good, and then I think that's what got me turned on to that we were gonna go try to see Bad Wolves, and a couple of those were all
right. Okay.
Next year, and then everything went to crap. But,
yeah.
But I mean, we had a blast at Metallica. I think we mentioned on some earlier episodes as well, like, we can make trips funner than you would think that they need to be.
Yeah, right.
I think we almost got into an accident 2 or 3 times on the way there in an Uber, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's because the drive was an hour and a half with traffic because of
ways.
Yeah, because I think the concert started like 6 or 7. We had to go from your brother's house.
Yeah, and I feel like we left at like 3 or something.
It was like 3 or 3:30 when we left.
It was late.
Yep, and then we got there in fairly decent time, but then we had to get through the gate, and it was kind of
all this stuff.
It's kind of a long jaunt to get into the stadium over there because it was at University of Phoenix Arena or whatever it was.
Yep.
So
where the Cardinals play.
Yep. So it was a little bit of a jaunt to get there, but yeah, just the traffic and where.
Yeah.
It might as well have been, like it was like 70, 80 miles from where your brother lives to where the concert was, even though it's the same city, right? Because Phoenix is freaking astronomically huge.
Yeah.
It's freaking huge.
But the concert was amazing.
Yes.
We took some gal under our wing.
Right.
She had traveled from Atlanta?
Yeah, she was from Atlanta.
She missed the concert there, flew all the way to Phoenix by herself.
Yep. And just happened to get the one seat next to 3 married guys that were going to take care of her.
Yeah, which we all had more than what we needed to drink that night,
right.
Especially her. And we're like, we started leaving after the concert. We're like, we can't let her venture off by herself. We've got to make sure that she gets back to whatever her hotel room is.
Well, not only that, but we ended up having to steal
well, she ended up getting the Uber, right?
Right. Well, we had to steal her Uber to get a ride back because otherwise it was going to be an arm and a leg and the right toe to get a ride home. Yeah. So she kind of helped us. We made sure that she was safe because when you've got 40,000 people. I think you're underestimating that. I think it was that venue was packed.
Yeah, it was packed. We were talking about safety earlier, how we play inside more than we used to.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think any of us being married and having wives and children at home could have walked away and been like, hey,
yeah,
see ya.
Yeah, bye.
It was nice to meet you. I'm glad that you got to enjoy the concert with us.
Good luck.
But good luck. I don't think we could have.
Yeah, no, I couldn't in good faith. And it ended up being a little bit of a jaunt to get to where we had to go pick up the Uber.
Yeah.
And so fortunately, she had a hotel that was extremely close to the venue, and so because we had kind of commandeered, that's the word I was looking for. We commandeered her Uber driver, and because Uber back then had this event upcharge, and so the same ride that was like $50 or $60 up there,
it was like $250.
Yeah, it was gonna be like $250 to get back, and so we were able to commandeer the Uber after we had gotten the ride to her hotel. I think you and your brother had gone in to use the restroom.
Yep.
And while y'all were in there, I was out talking to the Uber driver like, hey, if I give you a fresh, clean, crisp $100 bill, will you take us? Can you get us back? And she's like, you got the cash on you? I whipped it out. And I was like, here. She's like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
And so we were able to get back to your brother's house.
Do you remember the conversation after we dropped her off though?
Not really.
So you don't remember, but
because I was in the front seat, I didn't hear a lot of what
we had a full conversation of maybe we should go to Vegas tonight. And I feel like we were this close.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Close to being like, yeah, let's go to Vegas.
Just take us to the airport and we'll catch a little short flight to Vegas.
And I guess I had enough brains in me to remind my brother, like, hey, like, what is your wife going to do when we don't show back up to your house?
Right.
Because we were just staying with them.
Yeah, and then what's my wife going to say when I call her and say,
yeah, and
babe, I need some money. Yeah. We're in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. We took a wrong turn to that one, Kirky. Like, what?
Yeah. Same thing with me. Like, hey, somehow I ended up in Vegas last night.
Yeah, I think somebody roofied my beer. I don't really know how we ended up here.
That concert got crazier than what we thought it was going to.
It was pretty low key, right? Mild mannered.
But yeah, almost.
I do. Now that you mentioned that, I do remember.
Oh no.
I do, because that was after our guys trip that we had already taken.
Yeah, we had already taken to
Vegas. Yeah. Oh. I'm glad you brought that up. I did not remember that little nugget.
Yeah, I remember that little nugget. Like, and we were closer than what?
Well, yeah, because the jaunt to the airport was a whole lot closer than taking the trip all the way back to your brother's house.
I mean, by the time we would have got back to his house after going to Vegas for a while, like the stench that would have just been on us would have been. I mean, it's not like we pre-packed a bag and we're like, well, we'll see where the night takes us.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna go to this, but hey, what happens happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally forgot about that whole thing, that whole conversation. And as a matter of fact, I'm friends with that gal on Facebook. She actually ended up just recently got married.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and.
Maybe she found a husband at a concert.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how they met, but she was. Again, I'm older, but I kind of think she was.
She's around my age.
Around your age, so.
Yeah, because I think she had to have been closer to my age than you or my brother.
Yeah, and I feel like
even just a touch younger than me, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like she was like. Somehow they had a family business in Georgia.
Her dad owned an HVAC business.
Right, HVAC.
Because I remember clicking to that since I'm in that industry.
Right.
So.
Right. Again, that whole full circle coming back and yeah. But yeah, I saw something. I think it was this last summer. She ended up finding somebody, and after that concert, I talked with her a little bit, and then I just happened to be. Her name was Jen. Jen or Jennifer or something like that. But I just happened to be checking something on Facebook, and then I saw that she has, because I mean, I've got several hundred friends on Facebook, but I don't really check it all that often.
Yeah.
And so I just happened to come across something that they had gone through and gotten married. But it was just kind of unique what happens at those concerts like that, right?
Yeah. Where do you meet just random people?
Right, and the fact that where we sat, she just happened to come in and.
I know, because that could have been.
I've kind of felt like she was disappointed all of us were married.
I know. Yeah, I think she was a little disappointed, and then I always just think back, what if she would have been next to just
some completely different random people, right?
Golly, I couldn't even imagine what would have potentially happened.
Yeah, how that could have gone down, right?
But here we are today, heroes.
Yeah, right. Heroes instead of zeros.
Maybe heroes.
Yeah, well, I'm a legend in my own mind, right?
So that concert was really fun. Me and my wife went to go watch Dierks Bentley.
Right. And
that was a great show as well. He got up on top of the light platform that they have and is singing I don't know if you've ever heard Drunk on a Plane.
I don't think so. I'm not a big country fan.
Yeah, I know you don't dabble in country, but he's got Drunk on a Plane, so he's standing up on top of the light rail and it's moving back and forth like he's on an airplane.
Oh, I got
you. And then he came out into the center of the crowd, which wasn't actually too far from us. Maybe 10 or 15 spots over from where we were sitting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Grabs a random fan and they chug a beer together.
Oh, nice.
So then, of course, you've got girls climbing onto the little bit of stage trying to grab his can that he drank from.
Like I said, there are some very rabid fans. Yeah, rabid fans.
It's just like, man, like, what do you... I don't know what you're wanting to get. I guess it'd be a cool story to be like, hey, I got the beer can that he shotgunned with a van.
Yeah. Well, are you sure it's his, though, and not the fan's beer can, you know? Yeah. Do you have his DNA off the can?
I know I went to the bathroom at some point, and some guy offered me his drink. He was clearly too inebriated he didn't need it.
Oh.
But I was like...
He was 42 sheets to the wind, too?
Yeah. It's kind of like the United game that we were talking about.
Oh, right.
You know, you want to blow on my horn?
No thanks.
Like you don't know where...
Yeah.
Like you don't know where...
Hey, I'm glad you're a great fan, but no, I'm not going to go there.
Or what's in things. Like you just kind of like... No, man, I'm good. Once again... I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my face. Where people are like, hey... You want to blow on this horn? Or, hey, you want this random alcoholic drink?
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you think that I'm friendly enough to just like, hey, try this out.
Right.
But no.
Well, it's just that kind of musical environment, right? Like I don't know. You get alcohol involved, you get music involved. People kind of lower their guard. You know, it's liquid courage, right? Like a lot of them that they call it, and so just
I know.
It's just crazy. But I remember as a kid, like my first concert that I ever went to was somebody named Lefty Frizzell. You know who that is?
No.
How about Tanya Tucker?
No. And maybe I do. Besides like the bands that I like really, really follow, I'm terrible with band names.
Yeah. So again, knowing where we grew up, right? My dad happened to be working for there's a little town outside of Carlsbad called White City.
Yep.
He, again, my dad being a computer guy for a long time, he knew the people who owned White City, and somehow he had gotten these tickets to go watch Tanya Tucker, Lefty Frizzell in this concert. And I remember Dad coming home. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna drive down to Carlsbad and we're gonna go watch this concert. And then after we're done, we're gonna go stay in White City." That's where I went and I saw my first concert, and I was probably 9-10 years old, something like that. But that was country, and so now like the new country that's out now to me.
Oh, Tanya Tucker, country.
Yes. Tanya Tucker country, because I
have heard.
I think her song is something about tequila.
It makes your clothes fall off.
Yeah.
Is that her song?
Yes, that's
because I think that song's been redone a couple times now.
Yeah, but I think the original was Tanya Tucker.
Oh wow!
And I saw her at the Carlsbad, whatever it was. Wow! I mean, it probably sat maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people.
I was gonna say, and that was probably a big concert then.
Yeah, because again, this was probably early 80s. Because then the next concert that I saw after that was, again, another tie back to my time in the Boy Scouts, was we had gone to the National Jamboree in 1985 at Fort A.P. Hill in Virginia. And I think the opening concert was the Oak Ridge Boys, and the closing concert was the Beach Boys. And so they were able to bookend the whole thing by seeing those two kind of amazing bands. And so it was really kind of cool to see that. But there was probably 40,000 Boy Scouts that were there from the U.S. and other kind of surrounding nations. It was really cool, and that was and that was I mean, we had a hurricane come through, and I remember one poor poor Scout. I don't know where he was from, but when the eye wall passes over, it's extremely calm.
Yeah.
And he just had incredibly bad timing because for the most part we were in our tents. And so using the body weight and our equipment weight to keep our tents from flying off, right? So he got out and he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
He went to the porta potty and was in the porta potty when the winds kicked back up. And the next thing you know, bloop,
he ended up in his own tent.
Yeah, it was a blue tent, and he looked like a Smurf.
He was up Estes Creek without a paddle.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. See, when you originally started, at first I was like, he left, and then the winds picked back up, and the tent was gone.
No.
And then you said porta potty, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was. Fortunately, for whatever reason, there was like a whole row of. Oh man, I can't even remember how it was kind of laid out, but there was 6 or 8 of those there, mm-hmm. And he just happened to be one that was kind of, and they were normally in a line, right? But it just happened to be offset, and for whatever reason, the wind caught it, and just he went over. So they had to take him in the 70, 80 mile an hour winds and get him to the showers.
Best case scenario, you just tell him to open up with his arms out and like, oh, just let, you know what I mean? Like, just let the wind blast.
Yeah.
Like whenever you wash your hands and then you go like air, like.
Right, under the.
Yeah. The Dyson just blows the, water off of them.
Yeah.
I feel like it works fine. You don't get the blue off, but.
Well, no, but it is wet, right? Because at that point the rain's back again. It's the rain's coming from a different direction instead of that one.
They should have just held it out.
Yeah.
Here, that's.
No, I get where you're going. So, but and then after that, like I didn't go to another concert until probably. I think when I was going to school at New Mexico State, my roommate was from Albuquerque, and so he was like, "Hey, I'm going to go see Van Halen." All right.
Yeah.
And that was on there. For those who follow the music industry, it's the FUCK tour.
Yeah.
For unlawful carnal knowledge, not what everybody else is thinking of, the 4-letter word, but I happened to go see them, and I think they had, there was another band that opened for them named, I think it was Baby Animals or something like that. They had a female lead singer, and she was kind of upset because people weren't clapping for them and cheering for them.
They must not have ever made it very big because I don't.
No, I think you could probably YouTube it and figure out like who it is, but she got up and said, "If y'all don't start cheering, I'm gonna strip off my clothes." Everybody just sat there with their.
Well, yeah.
Okay, come on, just don't make a threat like that if you're not gonna hold up your end of the bargain.
That's the worst kind of threat that you could make.
Yeah. I'm like, you couldn't come up with anything better, really?
You probably got predominantly male people in that audience, and,
right?
No offense.
Yeah, absolutely. So then after that one. Van Halen came out, and again, that was at Tingley, but I felt like it was bad timing because they had played. They were in. They were at Tingley Coliseum, and I think it was like right after a rodeo or a cattle auction or something. But it stunk out. It smelled like like the dairy, right?
Yeah.
It smelled kind of like that. It was coming out of those. Like, oh, geez, okay. And then the next concert I went to after that was the Metallica concert in Las Cruces, and then I don't think I went to another legitimate concert until we saw Metallica again. And again, I think it was just timing and the fact of where we lived. It's such a jaunt for us to go, and of course, when I was living in Phoenix at the time, I didn't have the ability because non-traditional family. It was me and my wife and my daughter at the time, and there wasn't a whole lot of concerts that we could go to. I think actually my daughter ended up going to more concerts than I did for a period of time.
Yeah, my wife has been to tons of concerts. Before we got together, I think she's even been to one or two after we had gotten together. I think she went to a concert with your daughter, actually.
Yeah, but
she took her to Green Day.
Yes, yeah. after she graduated high school. Yeah, they went to, was it Rockfest?
Rockfest or something like that. But Green Day was the one.
See, I think that was a concert that you had gone to with Chris and Kristen. That I think it was Rockfest.
Maybe
I feel like it was something along that line where it was a bunch of bands.
And then I've been to small concerts there in Roswell. Like, what's the gal from American Idol that kind of personified herself like Janis Joplin? I can't remember her dang name, but she sounded a lot like her. We got to see her at a place there in Roswell, and then Hawthorne Heights came through.
Oh, okay.
They put on a really good show, which was another very small venue because that's all we kind of have there. The Tejas Brothers, which my wife went with a couple of her girlfriends a couple times and seen. I went with her this last time. And they do like honky tonk Tex-Mex country.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, he's got an accordion and everything that he plays, but they do a really good show. Even if it's not your like cup of tea, it's still a fun show. They get the audience interacted into it and stuff, and so.
Yeah, that's kind of there's kind of two genres of music that just don't kind of melt my butter or float my boat. One is the newer style country, probably since the mid '90s and up, right? It took on a different.
It is different.
It's a different style. Like I'm not knocking it, right? Like if that's what you like, by all means. But to me, it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't do for me what I feel music should. And then for whatever reason, like I cannot get into Tejano, which is just it's unfortunate because of where we are. Like I really want to understand it, and I don't. To me, it's much like country, but I just don't.
I like certain Tejano music more to dance to, and that was more before me and the wife had kids.
Oh, right.
Because we would
when life was simpler.
Yeah, we would all go dancing, and it was '90s country,
right.
And it was Tejano because there's a large part of that culture where we live, and
right.
I don't know the proper way to dance to it.
Right, yeah, I'm just
but if I'm
a dumb white boy trying to dance that way, and
if I have a couple drinks,
my body don't move like that.
Yeah, if I've had a couple drinks, I'll move any way you want me.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
like I'll
contort myself as best as I can.
Yeah, I'll try to dance to anything, and I might look completely stupid to some people, but I'm out there having a good time.
Hey, that's again liquid courage. You know, if that's what it takes. So. And then, of course, going to Vegas, and then they have those guys, that do
the street performers.
Yeah, the street performers and the clamshells on Fremont, right?
We'd be mid line, and somebody would start jamming out to Journey. So we'd leave the line and go hang out with our friends.
Yep.
Sing Journey together.
Yep. Just so we could sing the song, and then we'd go back and get.
Then we would go back in line.
Go back and get the Booze Mahal line.
Like bozos.
And again, music and strange conversations.
Yeah.
Right. The guys trip to Vegas, standing in line. We're buying drinks, and this random girl starts talking about
her and her couple friends that were probably too young to be there.
Yeah, they were probably too young, and then they were kind of letting us in on knowledge that I don't think we should have known.
Yeah, she had some things happen to her that.
We're not
going to talk about.
Yeah, just
I don't know why we were the guys that were like, "Hey, strangers."
Yeah, let me tell you my terrible life story.
And I'm like, man, I'm just trying to have a good time.
Yeah, I'm like, don't bring me down. Like the music is good. It's an '80s cover band playing, right? The music's good. Just let's not go there. Just kind of.
Did you do any hip hop at all? Like.
Yeah, I like Super Bowl, right? 90s hip hop rap. That was like my mantra.
Yeah, and if any of you guys are on TikTok, you'll see all the TikToks and stuff that have come out after that.
Oh yeah, all the
every person that ever knew music in the 90s.
You just hear the piano chords hit.
Yeah, and the feet are already moving.
Yeah, because Because I remember being in California. Again, this was a tie back to the Navy conversation, right? My wife and I are moving out of base housing into our apartment. We're moving up and we're driving up PCH and we see this parking lot full of people, right? And I'm like, what the hell's going on there, right? So we drive by and we're seeing, and it turns out it's VIP Records. I had no idea what it was.
Wow.
And then I'm looking up there and there's some dude up on the roof and he's doing his hands. I'm like, what is that? And literally like 3 days later, Snoop Dogg's video, What's My Name, comes out. And
it's him up on the roof.
And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, hey, that's, holy crap, we drove by that. We were there. I was like, and then just to see it kind of come full circle, and they're playing in the Super Bowl. They're the halftime show of the Super Bowl. I mean, it just
out of shape. We were talking about 50 Cent the other day, which I've had a couple conversations about how he's not 50 anymore. He's like $1.25.
Yeah.
That boy fat.
But I mean, that happens to all of us.
It does. So. You get married, your wife starts cooking for you and things, and you put on a little.
Well, your priorities shift. You have a little more thermal layers.
Yeah.
But
you were mentioning like how you like earlier country.
Yeah, I love the earlier rap too.
Earlier rap, I still really enjoy rap music, but I am very, very, very selective about
absolutely
the music now. It's not like back then when you had Ice Cube and Dre and Snoop and Eminem and like all of these people.
And Pac, dude, Pac.
And Tupac. Like you go and buy a CD and it's a full CD, right? You were signed up to BMG.
Columbia House, right?
You got the CDs, but you never got them so that you didn't have to pay because you signed up underage. Like, all those things that nobody did.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that, I promise.
Nobody did.
Don't come get us, Columbia House.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, I promise.
Yeah.
My name's Jeff.
Yeah. Hi, Jeff. Remind me of the stupid memes that go on.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly where that's coming from. My name's Jeff.
What's your name?
My name's Jeff.
Tony.
Yeah!
F you, Tony. But yeah, like the earlier day hip hop, like it's a million times better than what they're doing now.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know, at some point where they thought mumble rap was the thing. Like,
I know.
If I don't understand the lyrics, I'm not going to get behind supporting the artist.
I know.
I mean, and like West, again, in the rap that I was really big into, it was West Coast versus East Coast, right? I didn't appreciate all the turf wars and all that BS that went along with it, but I thought they produced a phenomenal amount of really good rap in that like that did. 10 or 12 years, and then it's
crazy.
Then it's just different now. It's like everything else, right? Like it continually evolves. But for me, I cannot get behind that.
It's like death metal, like scream music.
Oh yeah, that low guttural.
Gojira was there with Metallica. They were the first band, I think, right? Because it was still bright in the stadium.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, dude, this is cool. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, but they had one song that had been playing on.
Yeah,
they had been playing on Octane prior to that.
Yeah. I would rather listen to like Rammstein.
Du hast, right?
In a different language.
Yeah.
Because I can still understand the words coming out of their mouth.
Right, and a good beat that goes with it. Yeah, no, I get that.
Exactly, but you just yell into a microphone, I'm like, oh man, maybe I'm too old for it.
Well, there is some of that. There is some of that. Cause,
like, it would hurt if I tried to have any part of...
I'd bust a blood vessel and fall over, probably have a stroke or seizure.
Yeah,
doing that stuff now, but...
I don't know.
No, and again, it's just like that 10 or 12 year period, probably from mid to late 80s, I'm going to say, until probably around 2000, 2001, 2002, right? Like that period of time is where I felt rap was probably at its strongest. And then it just kind of, it went to this whole like auto-tune period, and they were...
Went through auto-tune, it went through political period, it went through... it's gone through a lot of periods. I think rock, at the end of the day, has been the most consistent. Like, I remember walking home from school, and, you know, you get a couple blocks from the house, and you can already hear my dad's White Snake stuff blaring on his turntable. You know, and he would be sitting there. My dad never played video games hardly, but he played freaking F-Zero on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
Like, you had to try to fight him off there. Like,
he'd
have White Snake jamming in the background with his two, like, 12s. And this
the home stereo.
Yeah, in this homemade, like, he had the equalizer, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
That you could hear way down the street and be like, cool, Dad, you've been off since 2. You think I could play, maybe? Now I'll go figure out something else to do.
Yeah, because I'm listening to music and...
Playing F-Zero.
Yeah.
Like, just... And I think that's the only game that he would play.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Like, I don't think he got in on, like, Star Fox or anything, like, going back to gaming a little bit. I don't think he got into any of that, but you could hear him...
Here I go again on my own.
Queen, White Snake, one of them. Just
right.
blaring... And just F-Zero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, everybody has their zone that they have to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one of the things about kind of where gaming and music collide, right? Is in the Doom series, especially the newer Doom that they've kind of remade.
Yeah.
A lot of Doom is kind of one of those ones that got started as an old. It's not quite a side scroller game.
Yeah.
But it was one of like the first real true first person where they would have the gun and you could kind of see the mechanics of the barrel bouncing, right, and that I forget what they call it, bob and weave kind of thing. And so when they remade Doom, one of the first things that I noticed was the music. Right? Like I can't remember. I'd have to Google and find out who it was that did all the music, but man, all the music for that it's so appropriate to what's going on in the environment, and the music in that case kind of set the tone. Much like for me, the music set the tone in the '90s with rap and kind of where it was. Now I don't listen to a whole lot of rap anymore.
Yeah.
I listen to more rock than I do anything. I listen to Octane every day on my drive to work, or I think they have Alt Nation, right, which is channel 41 or whatever on Octane, but I'll listen to it too.
Yeah.
But every now and then I'll get a little throwback, and I'll listen to Road Trip Radio, which has kind of all the music from all the things, you know, and it's just like
I'm gonna have to find that one.
Yeah, it's like in my wife's car, we can't get it for some reason because the channels. The channel is too high. I think it's like channel 301 or something like that.
Which I don't know if we have either, honestly.
Yeah.
Because we have more of like a base package, I think.
Right. And so and I did find out, you know, you remember the band Tears for Fears?
Yes.
They're back together, and they're putting out a new album that's coming out any day now, I think.
Just crazy.
Yeah. And they were just two guys from England that kind of, you know, they like stick it to the system, almost like Rage Against the Machine was it?
Which is
right.
They're stupid good.
Oh, they're ridiculously good. And Tom Morello is probably one of the best guitarists on the face of the planet, right? But he's just an all around kind of general BA, you know.
You know, kind of a travesty talking about people getting back together and like new things or whatever. Machine Gun Kelly, Corey was just telling me that Machine Gun Kelly just redid like Crawling or something from Linkin Park.
Oh.
And she's like, it's hot garbage.
Is it really?
I haven't come across it yet.
Oh, I haven't either.
I haven't been able to pull myself to...
Oh, no, but I think my wife was telling me the other day that I think Doja Cat has done a remake of something, and somebody else had done one of the... Was it Men from Work?
Oh, wow.
We Come From a Land Down Under.
Yeah.
Right? That whole thing. Somebody had done a remake of that, too. And I'm like, you know what? Some people just need to leave the classics alone and just let them be classics.
Well, and out of all the bands, how do you touch a Linkin Park?
Right, especially now since what happened with
Chester Bennington.
Chester Bennington, right?
Yeah,
and so it just
who gave the okay for this to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I happened to be watching something on I watch a lot of stuff on Twitch the other day, but talking about Linkin Park, I happened to come across Mike Shinoda. He did a live stream on Twitch, and so I didn't have. I think it was last Friday. I was working from home, and I got wrapped up, done with my hours, and so I was like, I'm just gonna see, because every now and then I kind of get a wild hair, and I'll just see like, hey, what's on Twitch?
Yeah.
And it come up, and it just was on the left hand side under the recommended. It was Mike Shinoda. I was like, oh wow. So I just kind of started to follow him, but he was I think he was trying to make some music, and a lot of times I'll follow him, or T-Pain gets on there, and I watch T-Pain on Twitch sometimes too, and he'll be making music and talking to people. It's just really cool to watch them go through that whole creative process.
Go through the motion of the process of making music.
Yeah. I mean, it's much like anything else, right? So you start out with an idea, and then you have layers, and you just start kind of tweaking it and tuning it.
Yeah, peeling it away and tweaking it. And
they're like onions, right? One layer at a time.
One layer at a time. Yeah. My onion's a little more open, I think.
Mine.
Most of the time, you get all the layers.
All at once.
Whether you want it or not. Like
is that why I'm crying all the time when I'm around you?
It's a fairly open book. So.
We've kind of hit on the whole gamut of music here. We've covered. My music taste is pretty eclectic. I listen to a wide variety. What the hell is variety?
I don't know.
I think
we make up words.
I know. I think that was supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a variety and an array.
Yeah.
So a wide variety.
I mean, yeet used to not be a word.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it's on its way to be making it
no
into
cap.
a dictionary. I mean,
to me, a cap is something I wore on my head, like this.
Yeah.
This is magic hat, whatever. So, I think we've kind of hit on all the things here. You got anything else?
No. Yeah. I mean, I've kind of been over everything too. Like I've got a wide variety of what I listen to, just depending on the mood that I'm in. So.
Right. Yeah.
And I flip flop between them.
Yeah, I think. Just kind of depending upon the mood, right, on what we listen to. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of crazy. So I don't listen to any one thing all the time. No. Every time it just, some days I'm in a like I want to just break stuff kind of thing, and then I'm like, no, I want to feel some rap, or I'm feeling a little sentimental, and I want to kind of
put some slow jams on.
Yeah, put some slow jams, bumping and grinding like a slow jam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throw some California love in there. So
there you go.
I'm a little old.
Hey, so thanks for watching. Make sure that you go hit the like and subscribe. Make sure notifications are turned on so you get the latest videos. And remember, never stop conversating. If you want to send us topics, send those to topics@ConBroSationalists.com.